all-time Pakistan Test match 11.
3, 4, 5 and 6.
All
played 90 plus. I think all average 50.
Javed Miandad at 5. Absolute bastard against India, by the way.
Shahid Afridi's played so many ODIs, but hardly any tests.
Are we doing that show of actor from the Pakistan 12th man? Hello and welcome back to the Brown Playbook. Last week, we did an all-time India Test match 11. And this week, we're doing a Pakistan one. So first things first, go look at that video and tell me if you think that team beats the one that we do today, and drop your all-time Pakistan Test match 11 in the comments below, right?
Yes, sir. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, no, for real. Well, what a team, first of all, it is.
Oh,
like, the
my
level of
God.
selection
Research
we've had to
for
do.
this
was
enjoyable, because the team we are going to name is unbelievable.
But honestly, and as Indians, right, you always have a natural bias towards the Indian cricket team, and like you kind of hear more stories from your own country that you support. But like, looking into this, they've got some ridiculous legends that like, it just makes them such a strong team. So all right, let's start it off.
Let's fill it out so we can agree on the bowlers and the middle order.
True. All right,
and then we get spicy with it.
All right, go on.
So I think, let's just go straight for, I think the middle order is going to be Javed Miandad, Younis Khan, and Inzamam. I think those three all average over 50. All played, I think, over 100 tests. And I even looked at some of their stats in all conditions. And I think Javed was the only one to average just under 40. I think he averaged 38 outside Asia. And the other two still averaged 40.
Even 38 is
it's ridiculous. Of course.
Like,
and you know what? Those average stats, because obviously it's the mean, is the longevity of over 100 stats is over 100 tests is just crazy. So
But shout out to Younis Khan there, by the way, because his numbers are ridiculous. His numbers are just consistent everywhere, and he's an underrated overall legend. Like, not Pakistan specifically. Like, he doesn't get talked about enough in any all-time great, right? Because
I agree.
Like, I know numbers can lie sometimes, but those ones don't. And like, just generally, what an absolute legend of the game.
He's the only Pakistani player to get over 10k runs in test.
Of course.
So are we agreeing on that? We're pretty nailed on.
Yes, but I think
I need to shout someone out.
Go on.
Misbah-ul-Haq.
Bro, there's more than that.
Bro, there's more.
Like, Misbah-ul-Haq is one, but like, there's so many.
He's like the guy I remember growing up, right? Like the absolute stalwart. And he led Pakistan when he was captain to number 1 in Test rankings in 2016. So he's a...
Just see if we've missed anyone. Oh, Zaheer Abbas. Old school guy, but my dad told me a story about him.
I was going to mention him.
Potentially.
Okay. On my days. Anyways, so middle order we've done.
Okay, those three that we've done, whether they go 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6, we'll figure out depending on who we choose.
I've said 4, 5, 6 for now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But we'll discuss the openers and we can do it. So now we've done middle order, we confirm that. I think bowlers is the next easiest thing. Obviously we go Wasim,
Waqar, no question.
And get Imran in there. Obviously as our three seamers. So now I think we'll get those in. Okay, now I think we start from the top. Okay,
so we've solidified 6.
Yes.
Not exactly where they bat in the order,
but that will
6
come with
people are
now.
in. And there we go for the openers. One's a shoe-in for me. Saeed was in. Like, so obviously we're born in 99. He retired in 03. We're not talking about our live memories here, but I have 2 things to go on. So stories that my family tell me, highlights that I've seen growing up, and just stats now, and also just what their legacy ends up being. Because it's a weird thing with cricket, like after a player's career is finished, if he's a great, people talk about them for a long time. I mean, that's why you still have people talk about people from the 50s. And I think he's one of them. Like, he's not talked about in all-timers for some reason, but as a Pakistani opener, averages 47, scored over 5k runs. I don't think there's anyone that matches those two, which means that for me, he's a bit of a standout. I think he's in. But what do you think? Who have you got?
For me, I think there's basically 3 players that came to mind in my top order. So the first was obviously Mohammad Yousuf. I think he played 55 tests as well, which is exactly the same as Saeed Anwar. I think he's got a slightly lower average though, of 37. But someone for me who I obviously remember playing, I remember actually watching him compared to Saeed Anwar.
And he can chip in with the ball. Right? If you've got one spinner in, if you go for the 4 quicks, He's a good, very, very, very solid left arm.
Exactly. So then the second one was Azhar Ali. Now I know he opened a couple of times, but the majority of his career he was in the middle order.
He opened more than people think, though. So a third of his appearances were opening, and 2/3 were at number 3, and he averaged 45 opening and 43 at 3. So like you can get him in at either.
So that's where I think.
I'd get him in because 7,000 runs, good average at 42, which like. I think Pakistan are like lacking those 50 average openers. I don't think they have one.
The other opener is Hanif Mohammed.
Back in the day.
But then his stats are ridiculous. Obviously, he's done the longest innings of all time as well.
Mad. For people who don't know, by the way, it's 16 hours and 40 minutes this guy batted without getting out. That is ridiculous. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
imagine concentrating for that.
Yeah, I don't even. And he averaged 43.
Exactly.
Or 44. Yeah. But then my key point is, so if Azhar Ali doesn't open, and we pick, for example, Hanif Mohammed and Syed Anwar, then I want at 3 Mohammad Yousuf, who played 90 tests and also averages his high 40. So basically, who we now need to lock in our top 3, basically. Because I'm gonna, in my mind,
I'm sure there's going to be recency bias, and for that reason, I want to shout out another pair as well. Another one that my dad always used to talk about because these men terrorized India: Mohsin Khan and his partner Mudassar Nazar. I'll be real, I've not seen many highlights of them. 80s back in the day, but their stats are crazy, right? Nazar with 4,000 at 38. Mohsin Khan with 2,700 at 37, but as a pairing, they would like one of them would play well all the time against India. So like, yeah, my dad just make sure you mention them, man.
Yeah. Fair.
But yeah, so no, just to get a mention. But I would go personally, Azhar Ali and Syed Anwar. I think they open, and I'd agree because it would be tough. I think it's harder to leave out Mohammad Yousuf with his numbers than to leave out Hanif Mohammed because, again, it's to his detriment that he's from back in the day because when, like, you know, there's not even footage of him. Really.
Yeah.
But just because someone's newer doesn't mean they're any worse. I think the fact, and in Test cricket, we said this in the last episode, if you can do the same numbers for a longer time, that's credit to you.
And that's exactly Mohammad Yousuf. He played 90 tests and he's averaging 52.
Mad.
That means 3, 4, 5 and 6 all played 90 plus and they all averaged 50. Do you know how crazy?
No wonder their head-to-head record's so good against India, bro. Like, I think maybe for like people that are our age or maybe even younger, like you're remembering India being like really good now, but for most of cricketing history, Pakistan have dominated India outside of tournaments because that was the outlier. But in head-to-heads when they played, like Pakistan's record is significantly better in ODI, but it's also marginally better in Test. So it's like 12-9.
Yeah. All right. So you name our top 6.
Syed Anwar at 1, Azhar Ali at 2, Inzi at 3, Younis Khan at 4, Javed at 5 was fine. Because Younis Khan played 4, and I think he's the best that Pakistan's produced. So you give him his. It's like Joe Root. He's always 4 in England, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be. So Younis would be 4. Javed Miandad at 5. Absolute bastard against India, by the way. But you got to love it. You got to love the rivalry. And Mohammad Yousuf at 6. Imran Khan at 7.
Yeah, we're putting Imran Khan at 7.
Batsman, he's solid. Now, I think this is the next thing we go on to, and where Pakistan surprisingly struggle in terms of all-time greats. They've got some really good players, but I didn't realise they've not got that outstanding keeper batsman.
Yeah.
They've got quite a few contenders, but they've not got a Gilchrist or a Dhoni/Punt. Like, I think that's something that like a future Pakistani player could take the mantle off, to be honest. It's not so far ahead that it's not reachable, the way Younis Khan's 10,000 runs is. So let's go on to the keeper. Who have you got?
So I had 3 that come to mind. Sarfraz Ahmed.
Yes.
I think Kamran Akmal. And the last one who I would actually favour is Mohammad Rizwan.
Mohammad Rizwan. I also got a shout out, Moin Khan.
Yeah.
So like he's, again, the reason I lean towards that a little bit is because he was part of a team that was so good.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, his numbers, so I think that's where the debate's going to be. But yeah, go on. So Mohammad Rizwan, I'm surprised with that take.
Well, I think he's played, I think, 30 or 40 odd tests. He averages 40, bro. And I think as a keeper, obviously, I think he's better than Sarfraz. Kamran Akmal, I would say, I remember him being quite sick with the gloves when I was younger, but he just did not have as good as a batting test career. So out of the three I've named, now of course you can go to more of the old school guys.
Yeah, which we'll name.
Out of the three I remember and have named, he's better than Sarfraz in my opinion, Rizwan.
Yeah.
He averages 40 with the bat in test. And I think as a keeper batsman, he's better than Kamran Akmal because Akmal didn't really perform as well with the bat in test.
In test, yeah.
So that's my take on it. What do you think?
It's interesting. So actually, I was going to be between Mohammad Khan and Sarfraz because I know, because I hear the Rizwan point. I think talent-wise, he's unbelievable, and I think we favour him a bit because we've seen, and this is always going to happen, right? We're doing a test 11, but they play all formats. So we've seen him be ridiculous in the T20 format. We've seen him be really good in the ODI format. So that adds to a batsman's aura. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
even if it's not in the test match arena. So for that reason, I mean, Sarfraz Khan, he averages 38, so not too far below. He also he's got the most runs as keeper for Pakistan, and I think he's got the most dismissals. So just by definition, as a keeper batsman, stats wise, he's there. But I agree. I think Rizwan is more talented. But I also then think the reason Mohammad Khan's in there is because he did it against tougher opposition.
And he was in a great team.
He was in a great team. And I think Pakistan have had a bit of a weird time in the last decade or so where they're not playing against all the top oppositions all the time.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They're playing in the UAE all the time. And it's I don't want it to take away because that's not the player's fault. But does that then take away some of the greatness of Mohammad Khan's? Because even though he didn't average as much, did he do it against tougher opposition?
So let's now shortlist into two then. Yeah. So are we saying our shortlist is Rizwan and Mohammad Khan, or are we keeping Sarfraz?
It's between any of them, really. But before we do decide, though, we've got to shout out some of the oldies because that's some of the feedback we got from the India video, right? Imtiaz Ahmad. Way back in the day, 50s, 38 tests, scored 2,000 runs at 29, which for that day and age is a genuine keeper batsman. That's way ahead of your time because their all-time best keeper in terms of pure keeping is a chap named Wasim part of the team with Mohammad Khan that we mentioned earlier in the 80s, 201 dismissals, 81 tests, but only 1,300 runs, averaging 15. Now, for context, Wasim Akram, he averages more with the bat. Yeah. So I think credit to him in terms of his skill.
He deserves a shout.
Exactly, because cricket's different now. But at the same time, cricket's different, and that means there's no room for someone who's just a good gloveman anymore. So for that reason, he can't be in. So let's go down to the shortlist. It's Mohammad Khan, Sarfraz, or Rizwan. I'm happy to back yours. I'm happy to back Rizwan. I think in terms of talent, I do hear it, and I think he's not done yet as well. So I'm happy to back it. It's a bit of a rogue shout in terms of it's the way we pick punt over Dhoni in the India one, you know. But I think punt's got more reason than Rizwan does. I think it's a bit more up in the air still. I
would have been happy with either one, but
I think so. Yeah,
are we happy with Rizwan?
Yeah. All right, but in that case, Rizwan goes at 7 and Imran Khan goes at 8. Because if it was going to be Mohammad Khan or Sarfraz, it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
This makes sense now. Imran Khan at 8 is crazy, by the way.
That's how deep their middle order is. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, bowlers now is obviously we've gone.
So we've picked Wasim and Waqar. So that's 9 and 10.
It's basically just our spinner now.
We got to get a spinner in.
So
but other fast bowlers we've not mentioned, bro. I know they go in.
They can be our 12th man though.
True. I know, but we've got to do a bit of a segment on them, right?
No. Say.
Shoaib Akhtar.
Yeah, well, he's going to be my 12th man.
Ridiculous. Bro, the fastest guy ever just gets wickets just by scaring people. He's got to have a shout. They've produced so many, like, one of my favourites growing up was Mohammad Amir.
Yeah.
Obviously him and Mohammad Asif with a bit of an asterisk with the, you know, with the off-field stuff. Yeah. But, you know, in terms of pure cricket, they were ridiculously good, fast swing bowlers. KP even said Mohammad Asif's one of the hardest players that he's ever, like, faced. But yeah, and in the current 11 as well, Shaheen, I think he's a genuine modern great. I think he's kind of holding up that mantle of the line of great Pakistani fast bowlers right now because he's that good. So he might even have potential to get in the future, even though it'll be hard to get past Waqar, Wasim. Got to shout out them. But yeah, spinner, chat to me.
So I had 3 or 4 come to mind. I had Dinesh Kanaria.
Yeah.
I had Syed Ajmal. One who surprised me actually was, I did not realise this until I really looked into the stats. Shahid Afridi's played so many ODIs, but hardly any tests.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which for me was, I thought
he's ahead of his time.
I knew he was like definitely more of an ODI guy. I knew that for sure, but I thought his test stats would be higher.
True.
That's my point.
I thought so too. But yeah, he's a weird story. He'd make a really good individual video just on a side point, to be honest, because he was so ahead of his time that, like, he's not looked at as an all-time great of anything when he is. Like, he's an all-time great ODI all-rounder, but just because he wasn't, like, you know, he wasn't as good a bowler as the best leggies, and he was a lower order batsman that, like, was known for slogging it. His numbers are still good, even if his average isn't, like, you know, his contributions.
I think he deserves a bit of a shout, just in Pakistani cricket.
Exactly, legend of Pakistani cricket.
So they're the first two, and then Saqlain, Mushtaq.
Yes. The serious contenders though for this are Saqlain, Mushtaq Ahmed, Abdul Qadir.
Yeah.
And
he was my
Yasir Shah. Yasir Shah, I think he's criminally underrated, to be honest.
Lionel
Messi of cricket, you know.
What?
He looks like Messi, isn't he? You not see that? He very much looks like Messi.
Wow, I never put the 2 and 2 together.
No, because I just remember the memes going around because he had a really good series in England. And he's a weird one, man, because, like, he was the quickest bowler to get to 200 wickets or something crazy like that. Like, he had a ridiculous start. But again, because he played most of his matches in the UAE, it's perfect conditions for that. So again, it's not an asterisk, but something to take into account when you're comparing with the others.
I think I know who I'm going.
Go on.
I think I'm going Dinesh Kanaria.
No, bro.
Bro, he's 4th highest Pakistani test wicket takers.
Yes, but when you've got mate, Abdul Qadir is like, he brought back leg spin, Saqlain, Mushtaq revolutionised off spin. Like that, I understand in terms of pure numbers, but I think there's people who've achieved or left a bigger impact on the game from Pakistan spinners.
I just think that's.
I don't think people think all-time greatest Pakistani spinner.
I think that's just because he's underrated, though. That's why I think people don't think him.
Bro, I wouldn't. I'd go Saqlain.
Would you?
I'd go Saqlain.
Oh, interesting.
I'd go Saqlain. Mate, yeah. It has to be, bro. It has to be. Come on. He inspired Murali, bro. What do you mean? Like, he's too sick with it.
Saqlain, he's got about 50 less wickets.
But his average is similar? Is it similar?
Yeah, his average is similar. To be fair,
so
my boy was a bit expensive to test. You know what? He's a wicket taker. What can I say?
Yeah. So no, this is one thing to mention though. Like, I am surprised that Pakistan, with all the great spinners they've had, they've not got someone in like the all-time spinners, top wicket takers. Like, none of them had like super long careers for some reason, which is an interesting thing we should look into. Like, why is that? But regardless, for that reason, because all of them didn't have like, there's no 500 wicket, there's no Ashwin, there's no Kumble, who like played for ages and ages.
Well, that's a good stat, because Dinesh, going to your point, has 61 stats, and Saqlain has 49. Yeah. So he didn't even get 50 tests. Now if you look at the middle order, who we're talking about, who all have like 90 and 100, that's maybe why there's not a spinner in the all time, because they're not playing for as long.
Yeah.
Right.
But look, honestly, this might be nostalgia bias.
And I think mine's recency. I remember Dinesh.
Because we remember Dinesh. That's the thing. We remember Dinesh. I remember him. But like,
you know what?
I'm taking. I'll be real. I'm taking society's view into
Do you know
consideration.
what we'll do? You took my Rizwan, so I'll take your Saqlain.
I'd die on that hill, to be fair.
Fine.
I would die on Saqlain.
Fine.
Or if you're
arguing
Mushtaq
I was a
Ahmed
bit of a 50-50 between Imran Khan and Rizwan, and we went Rizwan, so we'll go Saqlain.
So I think so. I'm happier with that. And who ends up being 12th man? Do we go Dinesh for 12th man over Shoaib Akhtar?
That's the thing, bro.
We need a spin option, to be fair.
We need another spin off there.
It's true. It's true. I don't know.
But
you know what? I think that's probably both Shoaib Akhtar and Dinesh have well, actually, no. I was going to say that they both have surprisingly low wickets, but no, Dinesh is surprisingly higher wickets for the impact that you think. You're right. He's got to be in. But you can't. Are we leaving out Shoaib Akhtar from the Pakistan 12th man?
No. I'm going to put him 12th man. Yeah, we have to show a bit of respect.
Dinesh's first exchange for a spinner. He's 13th man, but he's a spinner. He's the spin option. Is what it is.
We'll let Wasim and Waqar really do it up front. Yeah, but Shoaib should be 12th man.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so reel off our final all-time 11. Bro.
All-time 11. We've locked in. Saidan were number 1. Azhar Ali number 2.
Yeah.
Inzamam-ul-Haq. Younis Khan. Javed Miandad. Mohammad Yousuf.
Yes.
Mohammad Rizwan. Imran Khan. Wasim Akram. Waqar Younis and Saqlain Mushtaq. What an 11. What a juicy test match that would be. What a World Test Championship final that would be.
That would be unbelievable.
Mental. But who do you reckon wins India or Pakistan in this?
Bro, let the comments decide.
Thank you for watching.
Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching.
Have a good one. Like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments.